There's a lot of people out there that want me to address other names. There's one particular person who will remain nameless, and I will not deny it. I think he's a fat, no-good bastard who I despise to the core. But it doesn't mean that I wish him harm. It just means I know what he is. That is not Marcellus Wiley I'm talking about. It ain't hard to figure out who the hell I'm talking about. But even then, I wish him no harm. Even though he has made a career out of maligning and ridiculing and trying to wish others the worst. I'm where I'm at. That particular individual is where he's at. And I'll leave it at that. And no, I'm not talking about Marcellus Wiley again. No, I'm not talking about my former colleague on First Take. No, I'm not talking about them. They ain't fat bastards. who are seeds of the devil. Wishing nothing but black folks harm. But I'll leave that for another day, for when the time is right. Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show. And just for clarification purposes, I was not talking about Dan Le Batard. First of all, he's my... Big J TV, man. Like, comment, subscribe on your way in. Stephen A. responded to Marcellus Wiley by not responding to Marcellus Wiley, but by cooking the fat slob, the devil himself, Jason Whitlock. It was a fire response. I put it at the beginning of this video. By the way, like the video on your way in. I think it's hilarious. Marcellus Wiley spoke nothing but facts about Stephen A. Smith, right? And how Stephen A. just didn't like Max. And I think the not liking Max was a due of envy or some level of jealousy, because literally, bro, there were times where Stephen A. Smith would just roll his eyes while Max was talking. like it was the height of disrespect. It was a lower level of what Skip did with Shannon, because Skip, just straight up disrespected Shannon to the upteenth degree, and Shannon had every right to bust him in the face. But I salute Shannon for using restraint and actually being about his business and about his work in order for him to line himself up for bigger bags and bigger futures, meaning Shannon is killing it. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future Max starts killing it, especially with the rise of quality boxing matches. And the boxing space is growing, and I think that, Max would be very smart if he went into the influencer boxing lane. I think he would kill it, and Max is a smart dude, and I think he'll do well. But Marcellus Wiley spoke nothing but facts about Stephen A. And Stephen A. has to revert the conversation in a racial way, because Marcellus Wiley just busted him up in a logical way, right? Marcellus Wiley said, you don't like Max, so you decided to get rid of Max. You just don't want to admit it, and you don't want to keep it real. Stephen A. wanted to frame it as, you're saying that a black man is intimidated by a white man's intelligence. No, that's not the case. Stephen A. again is moving the goalposts. Why is he moving the goalposts? Because Stephen A. just doesn't want to admit that he doesn't like Max. And you know how we know that? It's because Stephen A. keeps on bringing up Max's name all the damn time. So much so that the ESPN execs told him, bruh, stop talking about Max. And he couldn't help himself. But anyways, when Stephen A. went off on Jason Whitlock, like I posted at the beginning of this video, I died laughing. It was hilarious. It was an accurate analysis. Jason Whitlock is a good conservative commentator and a good cultural commentator. But when it comes to talking about black people, especially successful black men, he has all the smoke. All the smoke and a half. But when it comes to a successful white man, this nigga is more quiet than a mouse, man. Brett Favre does a weekly segment with him. right? And let's say that Brett Favre is not the most upstanding, moral, high ground type dude. You know what I mean? You know, he defends Donald Trump to the upteenth level. But watch Deion Sanders do any small, cocky, or maybe arrogant thing. It's 75 minutes to goddamn almost 100 minutes, hour 30 of talk about Deion and his son and everything about Deion. Let Deion say one thing of confidence. It's bombs on Baghdad. I mean, or maybe bombs on Gaza. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Palestine, man. You know what I mean? I don't approve of some things, but I'm going to talk about things on my podcast. Y'all stay tuned. I think it's sad. It's sad and pathetic, but I would love for Stephen A. to go full off on Jason Whitlock, but I think it's wise that he doesn't. There's a higher level that Stephen A. is trying to reach. And for him to go roast somebody who's way underneath, I think it's pathetic. And I kind of salute Stephen A. for not roasting and going off on Wiley, because he couldn't attack Wiley on any platform because Wiley killed him on a logical and common sense point that Stephen A. just didn't like Max. It is what it is. I'm going to repeat it 3, 4, 5 million times. He just didn't like Max because he was jealous and envious of Max. And he got him the hell out of there. That's why you don't see Stephen A. have a day-to-day partner co-host, because of his ego and him wanting to attain power and money. Is that bad? No. But is it bad that he can't admit that he was wrong for what he did? Yes. And that ego will get him in places he might not want to be. That's my prediction. But him roasting Jason Whitlock, I like that. I approve of that. And y'all see my channel, I have no problem with that. You know what I mean? Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Jason Whitlock versus Stephen A., man. The battle of the dude who should be commenting on snacks and one of the most egotistical dudes in sports media. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. Big JTV. Appreciate y'all. Here's the videos at the end screen, and I'm out.